Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Suzie Carmack, and this is day 3 of our Yoga for One Yoga Challenge for Yoga Month. So we're all about yoga, and today we're focusing on a chair-based practice for our torso. In our day, we oftentimes find ourselves leaning forward, leaning in to talk to a friend, or crouching into our computer, or having our head down for our cell phones and such. But it's important that our body gets to its many planes of movement that it's designed to be, not just forward. We are designed to also go backward, to turn, and to even lean to the sides. And so that's our theme today, is to really explore the ways our torso can move, and that is symbolic of our solar plexus and our ability to shine in all directions. So let's get started. I invite you to find a stationary place for your chair and to have a seat at the front edge of the chair with me. I'm facing here, and later you'll see me turn to the side. But as you sit tall, I want you to notice that as you're sitting and maybe moving around a little, you may notice that there's these little bumps underneath your bottom. They are actually part of your skeleton. You may or may not feel them depending on your body, and that's okay. But we're trying to find a place where we're not leaning forward too much or slouching back too much, but sitting right on top of them. Let's zip our legs together and feel how the inner thighs wake up when we do that. If that's causing problems already, let's modify and make the practice our own. And as throughout the practice, as I mentioned yesterday, please keep being creative with yourself in how you approach the practice. So we're starting in a seated mountain pose, relaxing our shoulders back and down, zipping our abdominals together. And let's take a moment to simply allow ourselves to release the day, or to open up to the day, depending on when you're practicing with me. Feel the space created in your neck. Notice we're not pulling on the neck. We're just allowing our body to go where it naturally wants to be. Let's change to the opposite side and think about what you might let run off as you create space in the neck. Coming back to center, let's do a few shoulder rolls just to start to free up all the muscles and bones that are able to move us in our upper back. Starting with our lower torso, let's start with a gentle twist to the side, keeping our inner thighs engaged and keeping our knees together. And think about what you'd like to turn yourself towards today. What intention might you like to set for the day? I'm setting the intent of core strength, being strong from the inside out, coming back to our core values. I invite you to join me in that intention, or perhaps to make your own, whatever feels best for you. Yoga is a journey within ourselves. And so, as a teacher, I'm here to facilitate the journey today, but you get to go off script. You get to take detours as they make sense for you. What matters is that you're connecting in to yourself. From here, we're going to come into a flow that's going to move our torso. So I'm going to move this chair so that you can see that carefully. Let's go ahead and keep sitting at the top edge of the chair and start with a cat posture. So here we're rounding, taking the ribs back and the arms forward, and then inhaling as we lift the chest up and take the hands behind us. So let's find that flow, exhaling back, almost like you'd start to lay down, but then you decide, nope, I'm going to get up. Exhaling, kind of a sunset feeling. Inhale, sunrise. And our torso does house our solar plexus, as it's called, symbolic of our inner fire and our inner joy. It's also symbolic of how we show up for ourselves in making space for our inside and our inner values so that we can show up more fully for what's around us and what's expected of us. Continuing the journey here, we're going to continue turning to the side, but this time let's take the leg a little further out, come back to center, and change to the opposite side. So see if you can take that dance with the rotation with me. Inhale tall, exhale rotate. Let's do a little taste test and see how this feels for our spine to take the leg long and add the twist there. Now, if you find that the spine has started to round again and you've lost your natural curves, let's take the leg down, because we want nothing but to celebrate your natural curves. And as Oscar Wilde once said, let's be ourselves. Everyone else is already taken. Continuing the journey, we'll finish up with this last side. We've had a chance to rotate side to side and to lift up. So let's add a little more of a heart lift here. We're gently taking our hands behind the seam of the shirt, wherever that is for you, pulling the shoulder blades together. Hi. Do you need the weights over there? Go for it. It's fine. I can take a little break. I'll be done in about a half an hour or two if you need the space. Thank you. Let's take a nice deep breath in as we reach our hands behind us, behind the seam of the shirt, and lift our heart space up, relaxing our shoulders back and down. Feeling how your shoulder blades are coming together in the back, and that's freeing up the space in the lungs. See if you can add some ribcage breathing to that. And come back to center. Wonderful. Now we're going to go ahead and continue into some standing work to help us with our torso. So let's go ahead and face towards the chair and come into a standing cat and cow just a few times as we've done before. Inhaling to lift up and exhaling to lift back. Now, depending on the height of your chair and your balance level, this next posture can be modified a couple ways. Let's come back to standing. So one option is to simply kind of pop the heel, keeping your foot stable on the ground, and just see how it feels to rotate to the side. Let's change that to the opposite side, almost like you're wearing a pair of high heels. And this is helping us to challenge our balance and also our ability to react to space, our proprioception. So this might be plenty. And I invite you to keep finding that flow. Notice it's very similar to the flow we had when we were seated. If it's available to you to place the foot in the chair, don't worry, we're not going to step on it. Just to place a light foot on the chair, ideally the knee is even with the hip, or just a little above it or a little below it, but not too high. So if you feel a little tight, you might find a step instead, might be better. Let's see if we can turn towards the rotation to the thigh and find that sense of opening. Now let's take this into a clock-like action. Inhaling as we reach the arm up, exhaling as we open. Feel a sense of drawing, yes, a sunshine, symbolic of our yellow theme, our solar plexus theme today. What core value would you like to surround yourself with today? Mine is authenticity. So choosing to be myself, which can be hard when others have different expectations of us. Let's change to the opposite side. You might think of another theme as you come around. So first, let's try the opening, standing nice and tall. And then if it feels right, let's go ahead and take it into an opening. Coming forward on the inhale and opening up on the exhale. As you rotate, see if you can rotate from the waist into the thigh. And also feel the freedom that happens when we open up the whole chest wall to the side. Let's try two more as you draw your intention, connecting to that core value. Almost like you're painting it in space. Gently leaning towards the chair, let's come into a downward facing dog. With the chair, our hands are being very careful here. Make sure they're not feeling like they're going to slip. And we're not so upside down as we would be in a downward facing dog. Feel the length of your spine. And we're keeping the knees bent so that we're feeling moderate in our stretching in the back of the legs. If you'd like to lengthen them, feel free, but we don't want to force our body anywhere it doesn't want to be. We can lean into the stretch without forcing it. Let's reach forward, shoulders over wrists, and find ourselves in a plank today. Taking a few breaths as we take that core value that you said a moment ago. Now imagine that it's simply running up and down the spine. Feel as though that is a lightsaber within your spine that's radiating out that intention. Keep breathing easily. Even though this is difficult, try not to drop the head. Notice the inner fire that shows up when we ask ourselves to do hard things and to be still. Let's go ahead and bring our feet forward, gently round the spine, relaxing the hands now, and lifting up from the heart center. Let's go ahead and come to standing. So if you notice, so far we have done some rotation, we have moved forward and backward, and we've done just a little bit of side to side. So we'll finish with that. Let's go ahead and just simply stand tall and reach one arm down as you take yourself over to the side. So this hand is just a very gentle pressure on the hip, and you're reaching away from it. See how far out you could go downward to feel some length. And then going to the same side, let's bring that hand in, take this arm out, and either feel a side body stretch lifting up. If this is already challenging your back, feel free to stay here, or we can add a little bit more of a side bend. Let's change to the opposite side, gently taking the arm down, anchoring in our stationary hand. So our muscles attach in two places, kind of oversimplifying, but so sometimes it's helpful to think about what's the opposite direction I'm stretching into. So in this case, anchoring here so I can reach outward here. Let's try that on the opposite side body stretch, reaching up, relaxing the shoulder down. So feeling like a two-way arrow as you reach your fingers up and your heel down, and then taking the body over, like these arches next to me. And exhaling as we come back to center. So as we finish up the day, I invite you to take a nice deep breath in and bring in that intention between the hands. Exhale as you bring that intention to your mind, to your space of communication, and to your heart. As we connect to intentions, when we bring them to our body, we're able to radiate those intentions, not just within ourselves, but out to all those we meet. Thanks for practicing with me today. I'll see you tomorrow for our green practice, which is going to focus more on the upper body. Namaste.